In Sappho we hear for the first time in the Western world the voice of an individual woman, the voice in solitude. Sappho is considered by many to be the greatest lyric poet of Greece, yet fragments are all that remain of her poetry, and most of what we have was recovered in Egypt, torn, wadded, and stuffed inside the mouths of mummified crocodiles. The harp was the traditional instrument of accompaniment for the Greek epic poets, and Sappho was the first woman to accompany all of her lyrics with the plectra or harp. As an instrument of praise singing, the harp dates back to the Sumerians in the 3rd millennium BC, where it was used as a memory aid in the recitation of a myth or sacred story. Both the Iliad and the Odyssey were recited in this way, and for several hundred years after the death of Homer, neither poem was written down. It is important to remember that just as the ancients meant Homer when they spoke of the poet, so all the Greek world meant Sappho when they spoke of the poetess. Plato called her the 10th muse, Socrates called her beautiful Sappho, and Plutarch said that her words were mingled with flames. She was born in Erosus around 612 BC, and during her lifetime she was respected for her passionate and powerful voice. In the 6th century, however, her life had become obscured by legend, and Sappho became a stock character in Attic comedy. In 380 of our era, Pope Gregory ordered her poems burned wherever found. Out of more than 500 poems, only 500 lines remain, and now these alone must speak for her. Dete mina paracarites, calico mita missa. Artios, ma crucipedios, avros ilfece. Standing by my bed, in gold sandals, dawn that very moment awoke me. At noontime, when the earth is bright with flaming heat falling straight down, the cricket sets up a high-pitched singing in her wings. I took my lyre and said, "Come now, my heavenly tortoiseshell, become a speaking instrument." Although they are only breath, the words which I command are immortal. I confess, I love that which caresses me. I believe love has its share in the sun's brilliance and virtue. You know the place. Then leave Crete and come to us, waiting where the grove is pleasantest, by precinct sacred to you. Here incense smokes on the altar. A cold stream murmurs through the apple branches. A young rose thicket shades the ground, and quivering leaves pour down deep sleep. sense the air. Queen, Cyprian, calm. You are the herdsman of evening, Hesperus. You heard homeward whatever dawn's light dispersed. You heard goats, heard sheep, heard children home to their mothers. We put the urn aboard ship with this inscription: "This is the dust of little Timas, who unmarried was led into Persephone's dark bedroom. And she being far from home, girls her age took two-edged blades to cut in mourning for her these curls of their soft hair." In the spring twilight, the full moon is shining, and girls take their places as though around an altar, and their feet move rhythmically, as tender feet of Cretan girls danced once around an altar of love, crushing a circle in the soft, smooth, flowering grass. We know this much: death is an evil. We have the gods' word for it. They too would die if death were a good thing. Vos omnes paenus medem holos ilicus prosolicones diffictus semin totale ob chronos mapaitae. Next few poems are called the epithalamia, or wedding songs. Raise the rafters, hoist them higher. Here comes the bridegroom, taller than Ares. We toast your health, lucky bridegroom. Now the wedding you asked for is over, and your bride is the girl you asked for. She's a girl who's lovely to look at, with eyes soft as honey, and a face love has lighted with its own beauty. Pathania, Pathania, pimeli pisoiki, uketi ixo prose, uketi ixo. Oh, my virginity, where will you go when I lose you? I am off to a place I shall not come back from, dear bride. I shall not come back to you. They're locked in, and the doorkeeper's feet are 12 yards long. 10 shoemakers used 5 ox hides to cobble sandals for them. People do gossip, and they say about Leda that she once found an egg hidden under wild hyacinths. Ai de musa, muy file, molpeste mescatacu, ore de son apal seon, e mas frenas tonito, Calliope, Calliope a sofa, muson progapa, geti terp mon, kai muse des todota, la tus cune delie paya, umenes, pares temor. Lament for a lost maidenhead. Like the sweet apple turning red on the branch top, on the top of the topmost branch, and the gatherers do not notice it. Rather they do notice, but do not reach up to take it. Like the hyacinth in the hills that the shepherds step on, crushing into the ground the flower in its purple. Ostate cantata, me philan philos kaitan eposois, impeta son karen. I ask you, sir, to stand by me face to face as a friend would. Show me the favor of your eyes. Kekvi, nelicuna by thy dentro, Lacete Dio, seribromu da catresuo, le noi molete sino mai moni hafoio bono, dai si melpse, te criseo coman, Hosanna di Corinta nasidos, ta haste peteras, hedra metatlitaiais, delvisi inca, stalidos euid runamat, monepinos etai, delphonana proponamaiantai unife, on pagon. Eros da atinaxe mi frenas, os animos cotoros drusen epeton. Without warning, as a whirlwind swoops on an oak, love shakes my heart. Some say infantry, some cavalry corps, and some will maintain that the swift oars of our fleet are the finest sight on dark earth. But I say, whatever one loves is. He is more than a hero. He is a god in my eyes. The man who is allowed to sit beside you. He who listens to the sweet murmur of your voice. The enticing laughter that makes my own heart beat fast. If I meet you suddenly, I can't speak. My tongue is broken. A thin flame runs under my skin, seeing nothing, hearing only my own ears drumming. Trembling shakes my body. I drip with sweat and turn paler than dry grass. At such times, death isn't far from me. Here lies Meniscus, a fisherman. basket and ore, tokens of his unhappy life. Say what you will, gold is God's child. It is much stronger than a man's heart. Rich as you are, death will finish you. And afterwards no one will remember or want you. You had no share in the Pierian roses. You will flitter invisible among the indistinct dead in Hell's palace, darting fitfully. Za Alexamananarki Proyenya. Last night in my dream you and I had words, Cyprian. Last night in my dream, the folds of a purple kerchief shadowed your face. The one that Timas one time sent. A timid gift, all the way from Phokea. Now I know why Eros, of all the progeny of earth and heaven, has been most dearly loved. I said, Sappho, enough. Why try to move a hard heart? Of course I love you. But if you love me, marry a young woman. I couldn't stand it to live with a young man, I being older. You may forget, but let me tell you this. Someone, in some future time, will think of us. Strange to say, those whom I treated well do me the most injury now. I have a small daughter called Cleis, who is like a golden flower. I wouldn't trade all of Croesus' kingdom with love thrown in for her. Tonight, I've watched the moon and then the Pleiades go down. The night is half gone. Youth goes. I am in bed alone. Greetings to Gorgo. I salute Madame, a descendant of a great many kings a great many times. Yes, it is pretty. But come, dear, need you pride yourself so much on a ring? I hear that Andromeda, that hayseed, has put a torch to your heart, and she without even the art of lifting her skirt above her ankles. Well, she has got herself a fair exchange. I said, Sappho, when some fool explodes rage in your breast, hold back that yapping tongue. It is clear now, neither the honey nor the honey bee is to be mine again. Day in, day out, I hunger and I I struggle. I taught the talented, and furthermore I did well in instructing Hero, who was a girl track star from Gyrea. Must I remind you, Cleis, that sounds of grief are unbecoming in a poet's household, and that they are unsuitable in ours? Davoi sapalas etanas instetisin. May the gods bless you. May you then sleep on some loved one's breast. Many times I've asked you not to come now, Hermes' lord. You who lead the ghosts home. But this time I am not happy. I want to die. The evening star is the loveliest of all stars. I have no complaints. Prosperity the golden muses gave me was no delusion. Dead, I won't be forgotten. We will now move from the lyrics of Sappho to the battlefield of Troy. A few lines from the Kypria act as a prelude to the famous scene in the Iliad where Hector says farewell to his wife and son. Little Astygnac screams in fright at Hector's waving plumes, and the hero removes his helmet to pray over the wondering child. We then proceed to Euripides' famous play, The Women of Troy. Here the story will be told by two of the women who survived the war, Andromache and Hecuba. This play was considered a daring plea for peace and a brave portrayal of victory from the standpoint of the defeated. It is considered by many to be the greatest denunciation of war in ancient literature. There was a time when the countless tribes of men, though wide dispersed, oppressed the surface of deep-bosomed earth. And Zeus saw this and had pity. And in his wise heart resolved to relieve the all-nurturing earth of men by causing the great struggle of the Ilian War, that the load of death might empty the world. And so the heroes were slain at Troy, and the plan of Zeus came to pass. Oh, my wild one, your bravery will be your own undoing. No pity for our child, poor little one, or me in my sad lot, soon to be deprived of you. Soon Achaeans as one man will set upon you and cut you down. Better for me without you to take cold earth for mantle. No more comfort, no more warmth, but heartbreak only after you meet your doom. My father, great Achilles, killed when he besieged and plundered Thebes, our high town, citadel of Cilicians. Then 7 brothers that I had at home in one day into death's dark place. Achilles prince killed all 7. Mother, who had been queen of wooded Placos, he brought with other winnings home, but the huntress shot her in his father's house. Father and mother, I have none but you, nor brother Hector, lover none but you. Be merciful. Draw up your troops by the wild fig tree. Do not bereave your child or widow me. Great Hector answered, Lady, these things beset my mind no less than yours. But I should die if like a coward I avoided battle, nor am I moved to. Long ago I learned how to be brave, how to move forward always and to contend for honor. Honor. For in my heart and soul I know a time will come when Priam and the folk of Priam perish. Yet not by the Trojans' anguish on that day am I so overborne in mind as by your own grief, when some armed Achaean takes you in tears, your free life stripped away. Let me be buried dark down in my grave before I hear your cry or know you captive. Hector reached out his arms to take his baby, but the child squirmed and began to wail, terrified by his father's great war helm, the flashing bronze, the crest with horsehair plume that tossed like a living thing with every nod. His father began laughing, and his mother laughed as well. Then from his handsome head Hector lifted off his helm, and bent to place it bright with sunlight upon the ground. When he had kissed his baby, he said this prayer. Zeus and all the mortals, grant that this child who is my son may one day be like me, a prince among the Trojans. Let him be strong and brave, that he may rule in peace. And then they will say of him, he was better by far than his father. Utakaidan, opolis mater, apolai batai humon. Come, muse, in tears begin, and sing strange dirges over Ilion's grave. Now loud and clear the story shall be told of that wooden horse that brought the Argives in and made Troy a ruin and me a slave. On towering legs bridled with gold, stuffed with swords that rang to the sky, they left it near our city's gate. Up to the Trojan rock we rushed, and stood shouting, "The war is over!" Then what girl could stay behind, when even the old men left their chairs? And with laughter and singing, all laid hold of that hidden dead that marked them down. Like a ship's dark hulk they drew it along, up the hill to the altar, and they left their gift at the feet of Holy Pallas, where the slaughter of Troy began. Men sank in blood, while their dead hands clasped the altar. The head half raised from the pillow, defenseless rolled from the severed neck. And beside the dead, the victor's lust planted a seed of a son for Hellas, watered with tears of Troy's despair. Let me lie. There's no comfort in your comforting. Here in the dust pain such as mine belongs. I was a princess born. My husband was a king. The sons I bore were heroes to a man. One by one they fell to Greek spears. My virgin daughters were torn from my arms and given to the enemy. I who bore Hector. Dear child Cassandra, you who shared the mysteries of gods, what outrage cancels your virginity? And Polyxena, child of sorrow, where are you? Dust mingled with smoke spreads wings to the sky. I can see nothing. The world is blotted out. Chryseia, forming Apollonos, Kai Hoglovokamon, Sinikon, Moisan, Tehanon Tasapu Haimen Basis, Aglahia Sarpa, Beton Taida Hoidoi Simasin, Hage si choron popotan prohoi migun. Ambolas doiche seleli zomena. Kaiton naik matan kei roi non spendi heis. Come, child, I pity your mother, but time is up. You must climb to the topmost fringe of your father's towers, where the sentence says you must leave your life behind. Now accept this decision and be sensible. Don't cling to him or tell yourself you have some strength when you have none. See for yourself. Your husband is dead. Your city destroyed. You are a prisoner. Shall we match our strength against one woman? We can. Take him. O babarets, elronte selenos kakai. Kitun betad obtenet, ordinai teon. O who tosai, dut noma. So precious. Oh, the sweet smell of your skin. When you were newly born, I wrapped you up, tended you day and night, worn out with weariness. For nothing. All for nothing. Look, you weeping women of Troy. Stroke on stroke scars our bleeding land. See
see the dead Astanyaks, whom the Greeks murdered without mercy, flung from Troy's high towers. Dawn that the whole world loves. How could she smile on us dying? City lost, children lost, all lost. Was there ever heard such a chorus of pain? Can even the dead see this and forget to weep? I feel that I gain my kiss.